Is the mic on? Episode 169. What's wrong with the Orny Adams? Let's start with this. Love to hear what you think about this because my mind's made up. If you charge $4.50 for an iced tea, give a refill. How is there even a question? First of all, the presumption is free refills. I live here in the United States of free refills. That's where I live. That's the default. You go out to a restaurant, you order coffee, it's unlimited. It's unlimited. You want 6 cups? They should just keep pouring you 6 cups. I was out to eat at a restaurant, and you order at the counter, ordered an iced tea for $4.50, came in a to-go cup, and towards the end of the meal, I went back in. I said, could I get a refill? And the person said, we don't do refills. I go, you're kidding, right? They said, no. So I didn't even know how to handle it because it's like, what do you mean no you charge $4.50. I understand if you go to a supermarket, you buy a bottle of iced tea, it's $1.95, whatever it is. You don't give a refill because those people, they're in some factory in some other state. It gets shipped in. That's the understanding. If you're at a restaurant, so I asked, I said, well, why? Is this the policy? Are you the owner? No, I'm not the owner. Is this the policy? And I'm sitting there waiting to write a Yelp review. I'm like, is this it's the policy? And they said, because we're a small business, we have to cut down on cost. Cost! The cost of the cup, the plastic cup, plastic lid, plastic straw exceeds the cost of the iced tea in the ice. In other words, having a refill. And by the way, it isn't like they're going to give me a new cup because they're like, we can put water in there for you. Oh, thank you for that kind gesture. $4.50 for a beverage. Screw you. In my lifetime, beverages used to be 95 cents or whatever. They were commiserate with reason. Then these restaurants, in order to stay open, which I understand it's not easy to keep a restaurant open. I get it. I'm compassionate. I'm for the small business. They started to increase beverages. In fact, the profits on beverages are so much that I assume it's their greatest sale. Well, I'll tell you, I'm not going back to that place in ordering an iced tea from them. I'll bring my own. So now you've lost the $4.50 in business. I did a quick research. It's pennies. The cost to refill that 16 ounces, which is less than 16 ounces, is pennies. Then the guy also said it's handmade. It's a black tea. And iced tea should be handmade for $4.50. This is such bad business. If you're a restaurant, listen to me. Do a refill, at least one. Say, hey, you know what? The first refill's on us. We charge after that. That I would understand. But I'm giving you the cup. I'm giving you the lid. I'm giving you the straw back. All you have to do is put a little ice, and they never put a little bit of ice. They don't give a shit about the refill. Let it be shitty warm. In the United States, of free refills, it's bad business. Because this will deter people from going back. Now, I'll go back because the food was great. People were very nice. I'll now bring my own beverage. I have a little Stanley cup. I'm like a hipster. I look Gen Z-ish. I walk around with it. I'm going to tell the people to go, no outside food or drinks. I'll be like, I'm allergic to plastic. Deathly allergic to plastic. Do you care to expose me to that? I'll turn it on them. I'll make them feel like shit. I'll be a victim. And I'll have my iced tea with me. I will never. You've lost my sale, my future $4.50, which, here's the other thing. How many people, oh my God, I could talk for an hour about this. How many people ask for refills? Give me the numbers. Is it so out of control? Because when I was at the restaurant, there was only 3 people dining. So are you so overwhelmed? Are you so burdened by the one person every once in a while? This isn't like There's a place called Mendocino Farms. They actually give free refills. I actually let you do it. Like a big boy, I can go up and I can press the thing and have iced tea released. They do what seem like gourmet-ish iced teas. Mixtures, a green tea with iced tea, with a mango, with a this or that. That is an upscale I would understand in that case. This wasn't the case. This was black tea. They also had a mango option. And I'm telling you, as a business, you want to charge me $2. Charge me $2. Charge me $1.95 and say, we don't do refills. How about that? What's Wrong with Orny Adams? Episode 169 starts now. Starts now. Fire it up. Bringing this down. I want to thank Andre Lima for appearing on episode 168. I think these discussions are very interesting to me. I love talking to people that have a singular focus in their life and have achieved master level. He's a certified master, 8th, soon to be 9th degree Jiu-jitsu black belt or Taekwondo. He's going off to Korea to be certified 9th degree. And these guys that have dedicated their lives, these guys that have forced themselves to battle other people in life, have very sagacious advice. I encourage you to listen to it. I know some people are like, well, I don't really care about Taekwondo. And believe me, it's not of great interest to me. But these people have a soul. They have advice that can be taken from outside the ring and applied to your life. And that's why I encourage you to take a listen, to give it a chance. In fact, on the next episode, I have another one. I have another master coming on. Higan Machado, who is royalty in the MMA world, UFC, because he was part of the Gracie Machado lineage that led to the development of the UFC. So that's episode 170. I'm going to talk more about stupid fees, including for iced tea. The United States of free refills. We've gone fee nuts. But first, before we get into that, I have an update on my sunglasses. A listener, fan, wrote in, Josie Benz, said, hey, Orny Adams, good news. My dog found your sunglasses. Bad news. You have to do a show in South Dakota to get them back. And she sent a picture of, this is on social media, so I don't mind showing you her name. Those indeed look very similar to my glasses. They're not the same. They're more oval. They are cheap plastic, Josie Hosey. And most disappointing, they look better on the dog. So the dog can keep them. But thank you. The quest to find those sunglasses continues. I've since bought some very expensive ones that are probably better than those anyway. And you know me, I've now bought 3 pairs of them because there's nothing worse than that feeling of having loved something and lost something. Even if it's just sunglasses. In fact, I've got some New Balance sneakers. Love a sponsorship from them. You know what? I should take a second to thank, and I wish I had one of their cups here. Coachella Valley Coffee. Very generous. Coachella Valley Coffee Company. Cliff, the owner, was very generous in supporting my special financially, and I appreciate it. And he doesn't ask me for anything. But I just want to say, I drink their coffee every single day. This coffee is top notch. And I have a palate for coffee. I don't have a palate for wine. Coffee I do. I know when wine sucks. But, you know, like coffee doesn't go from, well, it could be $10 for a pound or it could be $6,000. The wine scam. In fact, I was up in wine country. I'm going to talk about all this. I just got back from wine country. I'll talk about this. But I want to thank you to Josie. And I feel like I cut myself off. I got to get back on track here. Also on this episode, why I might be moving to New Jersey. This is important. So stay tuned. to the end to find out about that. Went up to wine country, not by the way, I drink martinis. That's where I'm at with, I go to wine country. Just because it's wine country doesn't mean I have to drink wine. I love wine, but I was feeling a martini, and I had two, and they're delicious. They were done right. One of the best meals. Thank you to the fan, by the way, that got me this cup. It's a flamingo. I love everything flamingo. In fact, I just heard from Jim Clemente, former FBI profiler, sent me a picture of something flamingo he got me for Big Yellow. This is where I do my podcast. The studio is called Big Yellow. This cup, put some, cover the kids' ears because I'm going to get a little bit crass, has a flamingo flipping off, much like our president does, giving the middle finger. It says, let me check my give a shit meter. Nope, nothing. This is certainly not my brand of comedy, but I love flamingos. Now we got badass flamingos wearing sunglasses. Looks like the flamingo's wearing my sunglasses. Who wears the sunglasses better, the flamingo or Josie's dog? You see that? I'd like to do a show in South Dakota. Why not? If any other dogs are caught wearing my sunglasses, I will be upset. No tolerance for this. So I start looking for accommodations up there in wine country, Santa Ynez, and I see a bed and breakfast. I love bed and breakfast. Remember, I went to the bed and breakfast when I was in New Mexico, and everybody ignored me at breakfast because I was sitting there alone like a loser? You think that's who you would engage in? I eat so many meals alone. And I found out something interesting watching these cooking shows. I'll get into that later. But I sit there. I'm at the bed and breakfast in New Mexico, and it's all families and couples. In fact, in one bed and breakfast, actually, people were kind to me. But at another one, they just ignored me. The innkeeper ignored me. Like nobody, it was bizarre. But I like the experience, the communal experience. I like it's owned by usually an innkeeper that really cares. So, and it's like sometimes mansions. It's what Airbnb should be. Airbnbs to me are creepy, dirty, probably have cameras set up all over the place. Not for me. And I'm sick of cameras. Cameras are everywhere. You can't have fun anymore. Like even at the hotel in Santa Ynez, after the couple of martinis, I noticed they had lime and lemon trees and orange trees on the property. And I went and helped myself. Remember when I stole my buddy Greg's lime up the street and then he caught me and I had to tape it to the tree and go, what are you talking about? Lime's still out there. Well, I'm probably going to get a bill from this hotel. This hotel I checked into, I didn't go to the bed and breakfast. Let me explain why. The bed and breakfast, which I was excited about, I click on pick a room in big lettering. It says the bed and breakfast. Then you click on your room accommodations and it says what's included, all red. Ready for this? We no longer serve breakfast. So then what are you? A bed not breakfast? That's what I think you are. Like take bed and breakfast out of your bed not breakfast now. You're a B&B. A bed not breakfast. You're not a bed and breakfast. B and B. You're a B and B. That's a tongue twister. So I'm not staying there. I'm paying. It's a bed and breakfast, but I got to get my own breakfast. That sounds like my home. But that's where we're at. That's where we're at because they weren't making enough money. We're all into fees. I stayed at this boutique hotel. I'm not going to say the name, but it was empty. It was like The Shining. Maybe the parking lot, there may have been one other car, two other cars at a time. So there were three people there. It was boutique-y, but still, you could tell it was empty. I booked myself in a standard room, queen size bed. Then they had an upgrade. So you get there, and immediately they want to upgrade. You want to upgrade? Yeah, I'd like to upgrade. There's nobody here. Sure. I figure they're going to give it to me, right? That's what most good businesses do. The ones that don't charge $4.50 for iced tea. The ones that understand the power of having somebody with a big mouth like Orny Adams going on and praising that property. Praising them. It's empty. Nobody's taking that room. Put me in the bigger room. By the way, not that much bigger. Just a few extra square footage, meaning there's a little extra room in front of the bed. The bed is now king, not queen. Then there's a sofa. Okay? That's really the only difference. Bathrooms are the same. It's the same. They wanted an extra like $150 a night. Not worth it. I go away. My objective is not to spend a lot of time in the hotel, but to go out and about. Like in Santa Ynez, hiked to a waterfall, had some great meals, hung out with great people. That's what I do. I don't want to be in the room. But guess what? It's empty. That room is empty. It'd be nice if the manager came out and said, "Hey, welcome to the hotel. We're going to upgrade you. We're going to give you a complimentary upgrade. We hope you enjoy your accommodations. We hope you come back because it's off season. That's why it's empty. I'd love to see you back. We have wine. That was the other thing. They had wine from 3 to 5 in the. They had a small sort of area with a fireplace. They did a wine tasting 3 to 5. Get there at I'm not making this up. 4:45, and that same manager who didn't want to upgrade me said, "Oh, we just finished the tasting." I got a text from the hotel that said 3 to 5. What do you mean you just finished? So the guy said, "I'll open a new bottle for you." Yeah, of course you will. The are you talking about? But here's the part that pissed me off the most. Whenever I check in, I always ask for a late checkout. Standard, just so I have it. I bank it for insurance reasons. For whatever, like maybe I want to go out for breakfast and then come back and shower. I like to just have that option available. This guy says, ready for this? No one's staying in the hotel. 3 rooms occupied at the most. And by the way, they put us all right next to each other instead of spreading it out. So I could hear the neighbors could hear us. It's just nothing to get a good Yelp review. Nothing to get a good Expedia review. Nothing to get a good Orbitz review. Nothing. Nothing to get a good kayak review. Nothing to get a good review on your website. Nothing to get me to mention this on my podcast. Nothing. The guy said, checkout's at 11. He goes, we can give you a checkout at 11:30 for a $30 fee. How much for a refill on my iced tea? The fees are out of control. The fees started with 9/11 when airlines started to charge for baggage. Now it's out of control. There should be certainly legislation to stop this bullshit nonsense. Resort fees. Here's the other thing. When I stay at your property, don't send me a survey. When I go to your hotel, I don't want a survey. When I get my oil changed at your, I don't want a survey. When I rent a car, I don't want a survey. When I'm on your airplane, I don't want a survey. It's not my job to give me something. You want a survey? You want my time? Pay me for this. Give me something. Give me a late checkout. Give me an upgraded room. Then I'll fill out a survey. We've gone survey effing crazy. Have you rented a car lately? The amount of fees or the amount of add-ons or questions, your head's going to explode. Do you want to return it the car empty? Do you want to return it full? Do you want to return the gas tank empty? The gas tank full? You can return it at exactly in the middle. There's a fee for that. Do you want to pay for the tolls ahead of time? Do you want to pay for the tolls afterwards? There's an extra fee for that. Do you want to windshield insurance? There was one that was windshield insurance. Then there was an insurance. If you return the car with the windows down, there's a fee for that. Do you want the windows down insurance? Do you want comprehension insurance? Oh, no, I don't need the comprehension for collision because I have auto insurance. Oh, are you sure it's covered? Are you sure it's covered? Like the amount of effing fees. You start with the rentals $29.99 a day. It's $1,000 a day with all the fees they want to add on. Do you want windshield wiper fluid replacement insurance? Do you want we'll clean the front seat, but we don't clean the back seat. So if you use the trunk, there's an extra fee for the trunk. If we notice that the trunk was, it's unbelievable. I'm fired up today. I'm fired up because turns out the McRib is not rib meat. Breaking news. The McRib, let me repeat this. The McRib, which seems to come and go when it pleases. McDonald's is, maybe we should release a McRib now. They don't tell you. It's like Trader Joe's. They have products that just come and then disappear. They don't tell you. They don't go, this is a limited release. Well, the McRib is a limited release and comes and goes. There was a lawsuit claiming the McRib is not rib. Can I be honest with you? I'd actually, I'd be shocked and disappointed if the McRib was rib. I just assume it's not rib. I assume it's some sort of magic meat, something put in the grinder, compilation. It doesn't even have a bone. I don't know if people doing this lawsuit have noticed, but most ribs have a bone. Boneless rib by nature isn't even a rib. The McRib doesn't have a rib, right? Isn't it boneless? I've never really had it, but I just assume they're not they're making a sandwich with a rib bone in there. According to the McDonald's website, this is their defense. A lawsuit filed December 23rd in the Northern District of Illinois was brought by 4 individuals who claim McDonald's knowingly markets a sandwich in a way that deceives reasonable customers. With the plaintiff alleging the sandwich is actually constructed using ground-up portions of lower quality pork products, such as pork shoulder, heart, scalded stomach, and penis. I added penis, but, why not? It's a funny word. According to the McDonald's website, which I'm sure a lot of you guys frequent, isn't a day it's top on my search. If I'm ever arrested of a crime and the FBI goes through my computer, they're going to see me spending a lot of time on the McDonald's website. Who's going to the McDonald's web? Who? Please tell me who's going to the McDonald's. Please, somebody. One listener that's ever been to the McDonald's website, please hit me up on what's wrong at ornyadams.com. That's the email. What's wrong at ornyadams.com. According to the McDonald's website, boy, the traffic there must get shut down all the time because of so much traffic. The McRib consists of seasonal boneless pork dipped in a tangy barbecue sauce. Seasoned boneless pork topped in a tangy barbecue sauce, topped with slivered onions and tangy pickles, all served on a toasted home-style, not homemade, home-styled. It seems like home-styled ribs, too. That's what it's starting to seem like to me. Home-styled. Look at the words we have to use to make people think. I'd like to sue McDonald's. I'm announcing it today. If 3 other plaintiffs want to join me in suing McDonald's for leading us to believe that their buns are homemade. Home-style. Home-style ribs. What's the history of the McRibs, people ask? The McRib's history dates back for decades, having first been introduced into the menus in 1981. That's what I thought. I was a kid at the time. People got excited about the McRib. I was like, get a life, people. Get a life. In the years since, it has returned on a limited basis, which the lawsuit stated compounded consumer confusion surrounding the true contents of the item. The cycle of sporadic availability creates a sense of urgency that discourages deep consumer scrutiny and deters sustained discussion or scrutiny into its actual ingredients. There's people starving in parts of the world, by the way, as we discuss this lawsuit. People being shot all over the world, which further bolsters the longevity of consumer misconceptions regarding the sandwich's rib meat content. Wow. Anybody want to sue the restaurant the other day that wouldn't give me a refill? Anybody want in on that? Because that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling. McRib. Had a weird dream the other day. Having a lot of weird dreams. And help me to understand what this one could possibly be, the meaning, the deeper meaning of what's going on in my head while I'm supposed to be asleep and enjoying laying there doing nothing. Had a dream that I was contacted by Blaine, who was a head of post-production on Teen Wolf. In fact, Blaine and I have reconnected because Blaine was great enough to step up and find me an editor for this project, my special. I'm editing the special. I was editing yesterday. Chester is the guy that I edit with. We're having so much fun. I went in with 17 pages of notes yesterday. We banged them out. We're now tweaking. We're now moving things. We're making micro cuts that are making major decisions. We're laughing. We're having a good time. We're yelling at each other. It's excitement, like fun yelling. Like, we did that. Like victory dance. It's nuts. It's nuts. We're having so much fun getting this thing perfect. It was close to perfect. We're doing things that nobody will notice except me and Chester. And it's such a beautiful process. I wish it had been filmed. I wish this entire project had been filmed, to be honest with you. I wish I had all this on tape, all the conversations, getting together, the staging, the lighting, the music, all the camera people, what cameras to use, all the discussions. Who really stepped up and helped? Who didn't? Who was there for me then? Who's not there for me now? This process is very lonely. I'm doing this all myself. Every decision comes down to me. Every day I want to do more editing. Every day I want to get this as close to perfect, as close to what I consider perfect. I'm paying out of pocket for. And I should take a moment to really thank, besides Coachella Valley Coffee Company, the individuals that have gone on my GoFundMe, that have donated. It's still up there, by the way. It'll be up there probably once this is released. It'll stay up there because I'm trying to recoup as much as I can. So for the people that enjoy what I do, appreciate it, and have an extra $10, $100, some people have given thousands. It helps a lot. Not only does it help, when I get a notification, it feels really good. It's like, wow. And this may end up on YouTube. And if you watch it, think about what you would pay if it was on a streamer, if you saw it in a theater or whatever. But some people just like to support artists. So I appreciate it. GoFundMe. And the link is up on ornyadams.com. I wish it was up on McDonald's website, but they're too busy defending the McRib, the home-style McRib. Allegedly. I should say allegedly on all this. I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure. Been watching some cooking shows. Cooking. Culinary Class Wars and Knife Edge. Again, I love the passion people have. One thing I learned on Culinary Class Wars, because what they do, it's a Korean show, is they pin, what do they call them? White knives versus black knives. They take the white spoons, are the chefs that have Michelin stars, that have really accomplished a lot, versus the up-and-coming black spoons. And sometimes the younger people really have a greater perspective and are thinking beyond, like, you get to a certain age, myself included, you lose touch with what's new and cutting edge, and you start to sound old. It's every artist's fear. And this will happen with these chefs. But the one thing, there was one challenge, and I think this show is so fixed, I can't stand it. I'm not finishing the show. Who's ever producing this, the challenges are just too close. It feels way overproduced. So I'm out. Didn't finish season 2. Take that. Take that, algorithm. But on one challenge, which I learned a lot, which I think is smart, and probably a mistake I make. The white spoons, the experienced chefs, were going up against the black spoons. And in the challenge, now these guys, these chefs at this level are creating dishes for a very unique palate, charging a lot of money. And they were going to be judged by 100 judges that were being brought in. They didn't know who the judges were. And keenly, these chefs The Black Spoons didn't realize this. They said, we can make a dish in our style, but what we should do is use flavors that are appreciated, that are recognizable, that are common. You know, sometimes you want teriyaki chicken. Sometimes you want a hamburger that tastes like a hamburger, not smashed on the grill and charred and then a bunch of shit on top of it. It's the omelet theory. There's way too much stuff in omelets now. It's the pizza top. No pizza should have more than 2 toppings. Mushroom onion, mushroom green pepper, onion green pepper, sausage onion. You don't need 3. And they won because they made a dish. They put their ego aside and they said, we can make an unbelievable, unique dish that will blow away our peers in the 2 expert judges who have palates that can understand the nuance of a great dish. But they did the smart thing. And they said, well, we got to please 98 other people. And they won. And that was smart. I'm watching another show called Knife Edge, Apple TV. I'm an Apple TV subscriber for now. Don't know how long that's going to last. Oh, I didn't do the Teen Wolf Party. It's amazing how I get off track. I didn't do the Dream, which involves a party. I'll get back to that in a second. So I'm watching this show. And where's page 4? You know, I put don't print double printed. I have a printer that just doesn't listen to me. Just doesn't listen. So I'm watching this Knife Edge. Knife Edge, I don't know who the host is. Some good-looking dude that goes around tasting great food. What a life he has. Good-looking. And knows how to talk with a British accent. I don't know where he picked that up. And then he gets to eat good food. Like some people have the life. Me, mediocre looking, dines alone. Nobody cares when I'm dining alone. And has to do a podcast out of a Shasta trailer. Had I been good looking like this guy with a British accent, skinny, tasting food, his reactions, whatever. I'm done with that guy. Good for him. Good for him. Imagine how far I would have gone in comedy with a British accent and looks like that. Anyway, nice guy. He's a nice guy. I'm not bitter or jealous. He gets to eat this food. And he travels from, first they start in America, then I think they go to Denmark. Now they're in London. And what he does is he, with his British accent and looks, reviews restaurants, or not reviews, eats at restaurants that are trying to get a Michelin star and or retain their Michelin star and or get their 2nd or 3rd Michelin star. And these restaurants are just catering to the Michelin star secret diner. Whoever it is. They're always trying to guess. So like, there's a single diner alone tonight. Sitting on table 4. Blah, 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 blah. I wonder how many times people have thought when I'm dining alone that I might be the Michelin star secret diner. The judge. And then they really work hard. So here's the deal. If you're at a Michelin, they work really hard to get that person's meal perfect because they're alone and they think that the Michelin judges, the people doing the surveys, are losers and don't have friends to dine with. They always think that they're alone. They're like, oh, they're on their phone the whole time. Got news for you. Everybody's on their phone all the time. They're taking pictures. Everyone takes pictures of food now. In fact, it's kind of sad that at these 4-star, 5-star Michelin star restaurants, I'm sorry, like 3-star Michelin, but like 5-star in a guide, regular guide, that people are on their phones. That people are texting the whole time. Like, put your effing phone down. I'll get into that later. I dine alone. Nobody seems to care. You know what I mean? I go to a diner. How come they don't think I'm there with judging for Michelin? How come they're not putting a little effort in? How come the chef doesn't come out and say hi to me? I notice when good-looking people dine alone, there's a lot of attention. There's a lot of people like, Look at that girl dining alone. Or look at that guy. Good looking guy. Why is that person alone? Me, nobody seems to even notice I'm in the restaurant. And or they look over at me and they go, he got stood up. For sure. For sure. Whoever he was supposed to meet, that woman didn't show up. Business meeting, canceled. The Michelin Guide, do you know the history? Anybody know the history? The first Michelin Guide, I guess I don't know the history. I thought I wrote it down. Michelin goes, okay, I'll remember it because I read about it. In like 1890, the Michelin brothers, we're probably pronouncing this wrong because it's from France, Lyon or wherever. Like it's probably Michelin. Could I get some new pairs of Michelin tires? The Americans, the way they pronounce Michelin. They shove this horrible croissant in their mouth. They say, Michelin. Michelin. Oh. The first Michelin guides started out as a way to get people to drive more. The Michelin brothers are so smart, they figured if we get people to drive more, they're going to have to buy tires, more tires. So they started a Michelin guide that gave accommodation recommendations, where gas stations were, some restaurants, where to get service repaired. And they used to give it out for free. This is at a time when there was only like 3,000 cars on the road. These people, they're smart marketing. These people would give away free refills of iced tea, and they would upgrade you to a room for free, and they'd give $30, they'd waive the $30 late checkout. Screw you. The guide was free. They started charging later because one of the Michelin brothers went into a shop once, car repair shop, and he saw his guides propping up a table that was uneven. So he said, now I got to charge because people don't appreciate free. Haven't I always said that? Michelin is like one of those things that, and by the way, in the 30s, they started doing restaurants giving star ratings. 1, 2, 3. 1 is exceptional. 2 is you should take a detour to see that restaurant. 3 stars is you should make a trip on your own just to see. You should schedule a trip around that restaurant. It's a destination you should go to just for that restaurant. Michelin. But I've grown up hearing about Michelin my whole life. And so on this show, whatever it's called, the McRib, the anti-McRib knife edge, they are working so hard to they're guessing nonstop. When are the Michelin inspectors coming? When are they coming? Is this it? They're like Googling, like one restaurant guy is like looking up the social backgrounds of every name that comes in. They know Michelin uses fake names. It's really kind of bizarre. It's kind of like, hey, cook the food. It's also bizarre that a tire company is now the sayer of what great cuisine is. It's also weird when they give out the awards, and even on the award, the Michelin guy's on it. This is fine dining, and then next door you got a picture of the Michelin guy, whatever that guy's name is. It's some weird name. Oh, it's like Biden Dunn. So it looks like Biden Dumb. I'm sure the right would love that. And I'm like, what is that supposed to be? It's supposed to be a guy with tires going all around, up and down his body. White tires, because at the time when they came up with that design, white tires were in vogue. So that's what that is. So these guys are receiving the Michelin stars at the ceremonies. They got to take a picture with the dumb Michelin tire guy. But smart marketing. Smart. So when I dine alone, I expect everybody to suspect, like that restaurant that didn't want to refill my iced tea. No Michelin star this year. No. The first time Michelin rated restaurants, this was shocking to me, in the United States was 2005. I thought it'd been around since like the 60s or 70s, so it's new to the US. When the inaugural North American Guide came out, it focused exclusively on New York City. That I remember. Introducing anonymous undercover inspectors, the Michelin guys, to review fine dining establishment in the 5 boroughs, making their significant expansion into the U.S. market. It's only been around 21 years, and it can save a restaurant. Like for these guys, these chefs, who I love how passionate they are. I love how they strive for perfection. I love how they forgo everything in their life. They're not like, I got to go home and take care of the kids. They put it all out there for perfection because it's in their hearts. I love these guys. That's why I'm interviewing, Higan Machado. That's why I just did Andre Lima. Because these guys forewent. They sacrificed for greatness. And anytime you do that, I got news for you. You become a better person. You have a lot to give. These guys aren't just jiu-jitsu. They're teachers. They're elder statesmen. They're to be listened to. That's why I have conversations with them. I'd love to talk to a chef. I love how much they care. But I'm a little down. Anybody else down on the Michelin Star system lately? I'll tell you why. They gave a restaurant that had only been open 20 days a Michelin Star. I'm sorry. That's unacceptable. They gave, that one's called Behind in London. In Denmark, they gave another restaurant that had only been open 41 days. Again, I see Michelin Star. I want to think this is tried and true. Anybody can keep it up for 21 days. Perfection, right? You ever been in a relationship? Pretty easy to be on your best behavior. But it should be open minimum. I'm not even going to say a year, 2 years. Now, maybe this is unrealistic because restaurants go out of business so fast, but 20 days, that's bullshit. That devalues your star system. To be perfect for 20 days, and I guess that was during COVID, but let's say this other one, 41 days. Not saying it isn't great. I don't know. I haven't tried it. But what I'm saying is the Michelin Star should be awarded after at least over a year of consistency. They should go in there a couple of times. I don't know how they do it. I think even a year is too soon. I think it's like a Michelin Star should be like a French restaurant that's been open for years, that people have been going to over and over again. And the progression is from greatness to supreme greatness, to beyond. I now am no longer, knowing this, enamored with the Michelin Star. You lost me. You lost me. What do we want to talk about? So many different topics here. So many things I read at the time, I'm like, that's really interesting. Like they're using sound now, sonic waves, to put out fires. They want to go around houses and put these devices that send out a sound that can actually put out fires. I didn't know you could do that. But this has been around for over 100 years. That's how uninformed I am. Some have looked at drones for firefighting, flying saucers to carry smoke sensors and thermal cameras to find fire and use sound waves to snuff out flames. In 2012, DARPA, the Pentagon's Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, spent tens of millions of dollars showing sound could put out a fire with a suppression system, but they weren't able to make it efficient enough to bring to scale, meaning money. It's too expensive. So it's no surprise longtime Malibu residents, these billionaire brothers are buying up all the property. The Mowbray, they're from, I think, New Zealand. Matt and Nick Mowbray, who are billionaires. I instantly resented them until I figured out how they made their money. I'm like, okay, they earned it. They deserve to be billionaires. They've purchased 16 beachfront lots where they plan to build 16 prefab homes that are constructed at their company's factory in China and shipped here. Guess we don't need immigrants for labor anymore. I guess it's all going to be built in China, 3D printing. The Malibu brothers have spent summers in Malibu, and their team says it's a community they love. People are afraid they're just going to make just one big home, which I understand. But what I think is fascinating is that we can use sound and not water to put out fires. I didn't know that. And this seems like technology we should be working on instead of McRib lawsuits. Oh, that's how they made their money. Well, look at that. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, they started a company called Zuru Tech, and they made toys. Some of the most successful RoboFish's successful toy. Never heard of that. Buncho Balloons, top-selling toy in the United States. Anybody know what Buncho Balloons is from 2016? That's how these guys made their money. I know a lot of people that have made a lot of money in the toy business. I guess I never really liked toys, so I never thought about it. Quickly, a mysterious gambler, online gambler, made $400,000 betting that the United States would invade Venezuela. It's crazy. Crazy. Crazy what you can spend money on. And then this scumbag is, what is his name? It's something Smile, right? Like this double-sided printing has ruined this podcast. Painted Turtle CEO, the former CEO of a Southern California nonprofit camp for children with serious medical conditions, has been charged with embezzling more than $5 million from the organization, prosecutors said. Christopher Butler, I'll say your name, 49, is charged with 15 felony counts, including 9 counts of grand theft, 5 counts of forgery, and 1 count of fraudulent use of a computer. Don't fraudulently use your computer. Between 2018 and 2025, 7 years, Butler served as a CEO of the Painted Turtle, which operates a camp in Lake Hughes and advertises itself as a place where children with serious medical conditions can just be kids totally free of charge. Can you imagine stealing $5 million? I can't imagine stealing $5 million, but from kids that are sick, that the money could be used for them to have a little bit of joy. There's some real scumbags on this planet. Guy's being held, Butler is being held $835,000 bail. By the way, allegedly, I don't know if he did it. My anger is towards if he is guilty. If convicted, he faces 18 years in state prison. Yeah, put him in the worst of the worst. I mean, disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Stealing from kids. Everybody knows my big charity. Let's say it together. St. Jude's. Kids with cancer. The fact that a kid could get cancer breaks my heart. And if I were to give to this Painted Turtle, which I think was started by Paul Newman, and to know that this guy was using it for whatever, probably drives a nice car. I don't know what he's using it for. I'm just guessing. Disgusts me. Okay, let me tell you the Teen Wolf before I forget, and then I have 2 other topics. Then we're calling it a night here on episode 169. What's Wrong with Orny Adams? By the way, email what'swrong@ornyadams.com. If you have any comments or complaints on social, I'm at Orny Adams. The episodes are up first on Patreon, YouTube later, audio available immediately. This will be up in an hour. That's how fresh this is. This is like when you go to those restaurants and they catch the fish right on the pier, bring it right in, cook it, and give it to you. This is sashimi. Fresh rolls. I don't know what sashimi means because I don't eat fish. Hope I didn't just say something out of line. I had a dream Blaine, who was head of post-production, Teen Wolf, called me in for a meeting and said that the producers asked him to create a show based on my character in Teen Wolf, based on Coach. Calls me in and he says, here's the deal. I don't think there's anything to do with your character. There's nothing there. Something I watched all the TV shows, read all the episodes of Teen Wolf, all the scripts. It's just not there. It's nothing we can do. And then as he's giving me this news, I see Teen Wolf cast members coming in. All of them. people I worked with throughout the 100 episodes. And apparently there's a party. But I wasn't invited to the party. And now I don't know what to do because I'm there on business, but am I supposed to leave because there's a party? Here's the other thing. I'm the only one in the party with his shirt off. And if you know this group of people, I'm the least qualified of the group to have my shirt off. Then I find out from Tyler Posey the next day there's another party with, I think Cardi B was playing. I was like, I don't want to go to that. I don't need Cardi B. But I would have liked to have been invited. What does this dream mean? Well, I mean, I guess I've always felt like I was never fully invited to the party, but why is my shirt off? By the way, it was like my shirt off and I felt good about it. I'm like going, why is my shirt off? And why is there a huge party? Everybody invited. It almost reminds me of high school now that I think about it, when I wasn't invited to Frank Dettori's house. My neighbor invited everybody in the class but me. Absolutely 100% everybody in the class but me. Let's not forget that. Love to find that guy. Guy was from Guam. Remember that? Came in like the 8th or 9th grade, and all of a sudden he was a popular kid. I'm like, how's this the popular kid? He just showed up. I've been here since kindergarten, putting in my time. Putting in my time. So that's the Teen Wolf dream. I've had some weird dreams lately. Some people think we're going to work less in the future because of technology. This prediction was made years ago by John Maynard Keynes, known as the founder of modern macroeconomics. In 1930, in his essay, Economic Possibilities for Our Grandchildren, the economist wrote that by 2030, 4 years from now, technology would enable workers to adopt a 15-hour work week. I wish people worked 15 hours. Nobody's working anymore. Somehow they're paying bills, but they're not working. This is shocking to me. Will technology eliminate the need for a job? Will there be so much abundance? I don't think so. I do think people should continue to work. I continue to work because it's healthy for the mind and the brain, and it's what you should do. You should have a sense of purpose, even if technology eliminates that. But I don't think that's a message the young people are getting. I don't think so. I think they want to not work. Quickly, all the recycling we're doing is for naught. In Los Angeles, less than 10% of what we recycle in our blue bins is recycled. And I'm pissed off about this because I take my time. You know what I found out? None of my shit is being recycled. None of it. Hey, Los Angeles, put out a video telling us how to recycle properly. I put everything in a bag, and then I put the bag in my blue bin. I think I'm doing them a favor. Guess what? Anything in a bag is automatically discarded and brought to the dump. Holy shit. All these years I've been spending time washing out containers and doing the right thing. Goody two-shoes, Orny Adams over here, doing the right thing, and it's for naught. I'm pissed off. I might stop recycling. Here's why they would reject anything recycled, which most of the time when we're recycling, we're out to eat and we just throw a can in the recycle bin. And a lot of these products aren't even recyclable. Like, it has to have a 1 or a 2 on there to be recyclable. If there's dirty food residue, they will discard it. Mixed material, plastic, and paper glued together. We're not at the point that we can separate that and recycle. Low-grade plastic not being recycled. Here's the reason why. Bagged or tangled plastic, which is me, bagged. Problems. Virgin plastic, new plastic, is cheaper than recycled plastic. So it's economics once again. Screw the planet. Screw it. Let's just throw all this shit in the ocean. This is why I show up to restaurants with my Stanley Cup with my own iced tea. You know, the cost of that plastic cup and lid and stuff like that is like 10 to 15 cents. The iced tea itself is less than 5 cents. If I didn't mention that earlier. Many plastics, number 3 through 7, have almost no buyers. Paper prices fluctuate widely. Glass is heavy and low value. So what do people do? They collect this stuff, and according to Neil, my neighbor, he caught the truck that picks up the black bins, which is his trash, also at the same time collecting the blue bins, which is the recycle. So why are we being lied to? And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not anti-government. I believe for the most part there's good, which is stupid of me. I'm a dumb optimist. Even though I complain a lot on stage. Why? There are no buyers. They're burning a lot of this stuff or putting it in the dump. China doesn't buy our stuff anymore. Overseas people don't buy our stuff. There's too much stuff. Why don't we just shove it all in the effing ocean? Weren't we going to shoot it into outer space at some point? You know, if we can use sound and sonic sound to put out fires, can't we use that to take care of the plastics? I mean, I'm not kidding. I wash this shit. I use, probably not recyclable. I know this, pizza boxes aren't because there's grease on there. There's no buyers. Just tell us that. And mine is in a bag. I put it in a bag that's automatically discarded, according to GPT in this article. I mean, I'm really pissed off about this. This is a what's wrong that isn't a what's wrong with Orny Adams. It's what's wrong with the government and the oversight on this. I'm not political, but let's be real. No, most of it's less than 10% of what we're trying to, whether it's plastic or bottles or whatever, is actually being recycled. Jesus. Gotta be kidding me. Unbelievable. Here's why I might move to New Jersey. Where's page 10? Listen to this. How great is this? This puts me in a good mood. The recycling really set me back. I feel like I got a little too angry. I'd like to apologize to the listeners and the viewers. You can feel my voice is strained. And I've got 2 shows tonight. I'm at the Comedy Store and at the Laugh Factory. 3 shows Saturday night. I go from the Laugh Factory. And then I go to the Improv. And then I go to the Ice House. I should save my voice. I shouldn't yell and ruin my voice because of recycling. But here's something that's near and dear to me. And it's not an Otters update. It's something else. A luxury building in Hudson Harbor in Edgewater, New Jersey, where I perhaps will be moving, is taking DNA samples of dog shit, tracing it back to the owner and finding them. That's right. That's right. This I love. This I love. Can't stand dog people that don't pick up after their dogs or put it in my trash can. I'd like to DNA test that. If waste is left behind on the property, this is their policy, a sample will be collected using Poo Prints Waste Kit. That's the company. Just gave you a plug, y'all. Why don't you send some money for my special? Go to my GoFundMe. Go to my Venmo. Go to my PayPal. And sends it back to the company, which forwards it to a laboratory. Hey, if it's about dogs, it should be a lavatory, right? Lab. Dogs are labs. Forget it. Erase what I just said. Which forwards it to a laboratory for modern macroeconomic. Oh. This two-sided printing has ruined the podcast for testing. The goal is to identify which dog and owner left it behind. Here's another one, and then they get fined. The dogs have to be tested. They do a pre-DNA test. Then they keep it on file. Then this place figures out which dog left behind the shit, and then they get fined. I love this. I love this. You know why I love this? I like rules. Here are the rules. Here are the rules. Your dog craps on the property, we fine you. Pick up after your dog. I like when there are rules. I like when there's enforcement. It's why I don't like living in Los Angeles. There's no enforcement. The goal is to identify which dog the owner left it behind. Then there's something called the Grand Condominium Complex, because I start reading this. Oh my God. There's so much information now, by the way. I was supposed to talk about this critical thinking. I don't have the energy anymore. I'm burnt out. Got to go back to editing my comedy special, which I love. Can't wait to share it with you guys. At the Grand Condominium Complex in Riverdale, residents swab the DNA from the mouth, and then they compare it to droppings. This has been going on since 2013. Okay, so I could live in Riverdale too. The first offense, this is what's confusing. What is the penalty, you ask? The first offense for those who fail to clean up after their dogs will cost $250. The test costs $200. I think, like the other condominium, it was $252. It should be $250 plus the cost of the test. So it should be $450. A second offense here in Riverdale, $500. This is in 2013. And anything after that will cost $1,000. Now we're talking. In fact, anybody that puts one of those bags in my trash can, $1,000 fine. I'd love that. That's where I want to live. That's where I want to live. I'll tell you where I don't want to live. Sherman Oaks, California, down the street. There is a guy walking around his apartment naked, with the blinds open, knowing it, knowing people are looking at him, and touching himself. Now, is this illegal? If he is willfully exposing his genitals to other people, which it sounds like he is, and they are annoyed or offended, which his neighbors are, one of them has complained, and it is intended to direct their attention to his genitalia. Well, isn't almost everything we do in life intended to direct attention to our genitalia? Specifically for sexual arousal or to be sexually offensive, he would be looking at indecent exposure charges. She explained, whoever she is, because I just copy and paste it. And if the man has a criminal record for other sex offenses, it could be a felony charges. Sherman Oaks is a prosperous, you ask me, what is Sherman Oaks? A prosperous, family-friendly neighborhood in Los Angeles, located in the San Fernando Valley, known for its mix of suburban calm and urban amenities, featuring upscale shopping like the Sherman Oaks Galleria. And then they got the views of the Santa Monica Mountains. They've got Ventura Boulevard. It's very, very nice there. It sure is. Now, because of the two-sided printing, I'm noisily looking for page 10 to see if there's more notes on that. But I can't find page 10. No, there is no. So that's it. There's a resident that has complained that she lives across the street from this guy in Sherman Oaks. She has asked him to close his blinds. She has a son and is a grandmother. The poor grandkid's looking up, and he's an old man from what it looks like in the picture. She's contacted his building manager. Nothing's been done. She put up a note in her window that said, please close your blind. This is a sicko. This is a pervert that wants to be seen. Clearly, he's getting some sort of, I would say, I don't know, I'm not an expert, allegedly, he's a sicko and a pervert trying to get some sort of arousal or piss people off. This is the world. We are surrounded by mental illness. This is why it's difficult to leave the house. And I'm fired up, and I've had enough. And I'm going to leave here today after doing this wonderful podcast and direct everybody towards my genitalia. Episode 169, What's Wrong with Orny Adams? Hey, Eric Stoltz, who normally masters this, I'll do it myself, brought that way down there. The email is what'swrong@ornyadams.com. I'm heading toward to Sarasota, Florida next week. Listen to me. Orny Adams. I will be in Sarasota at McCurdy's Comedy Club next weekend. I don't know what the dates are. I don't even know if it's still January. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going down there. Shows will probably sell out like they usually do. At the end of the month, I'm at the Comedy and Magic Club in Hermosa Beach. Hope to see you there. My schedule is up at ornyadams.com/tour. If you want to support me, all the links are up there. And I enjoy seeing at shows and everybody being super cool. Next week, Higan Machado on the podcast. And, yeah. I don't have much left. I really don't. You know what I could use right now? A free refill of an iced tea. That would be nice. Boy, everybody just makes it harder and harder to leave the house. That's where we're at. Enjoy episode 170. We'll see you when I get back from Florida.